Hello my soldiers, how are you? Welcome to part 2 of What If Kushina Became Dark. If you like it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get to the fanfic. It's been a few days since Kushina left Tsunade and Shizune and started traveling. Her plan was to go to the land of whirlpools, home of the Uzumaki clan. If you ask someone what is still there, everyone will answer that there is nothing left there, but very few know the truth, and Kushina is one of those people. The Uzumakis are not the best seal masters for nothing. Even though the clan was massacred, they managed to hide and protect their scrolls, techniques, and even their clan policies in business. With Kushina knowing all the secret entrances and how to use the seals, it was only a matter of time before Kushina got what she needed to rescue her baby from the council's hands. Still on the trip, Kushina keeps in touch with Tsunade through the slug summoning contract, and everything was going relatively well until one day. Kushina is currently at a hotel getting her things ready to leave until suddenly, why do I feel so dizzy? Kushina couldn't finish talking because she ran to the bathroom and there she started vomiting. Cough cough, what was that? Could it be that there was something in the food the hotel served? But I assured that there was no poison or anything harmful. Should I have a checkup? Well, better to be safe than sorry. With that in mind, Kushina does a summoning jutsu, from which a small slug comes out. Hello, can you please let Lady Tsunade know that I want to have a checkup with her? I don't think I'm sick, but I just want to be sure. The little slug nods and disappears in smoke. A few minutes later, another small slug appears with a paper in its mouth. Kushina takes the paper and thanks the slug. Kushina starts reading the paper. Hello Kushina, I see you're worried about something. Welcome to the land of slugs. There, I'll do a quick exam with you, Tsunade wrote. After reading the message, Kushina does as she was told and uses the reverse summon jutsu. Appearing in the land of slugs, there Tsunade was already waiting for her. So what's the problem, Kushina? What are you feeling? Tsunade asked. Well, a few minutes before I was just getting ready to go on my trip, but all of a sudden I felt really dizzy. After running to the bathroom I started to vomit, Kushina said. On hearing this, Tsunade raises an eyebrow. Strange, I doubt Kushina is sick. Uzumaki have a very powerful life force, so it's very difficult for them to get sick, Tsunade said in thought. Very well Kushina, lie on this bed, because I'm going to use a jutsu to do a full body scan, so it will take a while, Tsunade said. Kushina lies down on the bed, and as Tsunade begins to examine Kushina's body for anything different, she starts with the head, then the shoulders and chest, until she checks and stops at the abdomen. Oh, now that explains what you are feeling, Kushina, Tsunade said. What was it? Found something? Asked Kushina. You have 2 babies in formation in your uterus, Tsunade said. Oh okay, wait what? But how? Asked Kushina. This is a very rare case for this to happen, extremely rare in fact. When I was at the beginning of my career as a medical ninja, I read an article that talks about a strange side effect in regards to female jinchurikis. In the article it said that in the pregnancy of 2 or more babies, the Biju chakra has the possibility of interfering in the process of formation of the babies, leaving only one to develop correctly, while the others are basically stopped. And as the Biju seal weakens at the time of giving birth, the Biju's chakra flow stops interfering with the babies, so after the first one is born, the others will develop normally again, Tsunade explains. Kushina takes a while to process the information, and after calming down, before a sad expression, now a small smile starts to form on her face. So I'm having another baby, huh? Well, how is the baby doing? Kushina asks, now with a softer expression. You're actually going to have 2 more babies, they're fraternal twins, and from their chakra signatures, I can deduce that it's going to be 2 girls, Tsunade said. 2 girls, right? I'd better start thinking about their names, Kushina said in thought. And there's more, the chakra of the 2 babies is already relatively denser than a normal baby, so I can also say that the 2 girls have a very strong Uzumaki dna. They will probably be more like you, Kushina, red hair, large reserves of chakra, and possibly inherit the Kekkei Genkai from the adamantine chains, explains Tsunade. Hearing this, Kushina is very happy, not only because she will have new babies, but also the fact that Naruto will have sisters and mainly, the Uzumaki clan will be able to be reborn again. However, Kushina cannot forget the dangers she will suffer along the way. Not only will she have to defend herself from the inevitable bandits and missing ninjas, but she will also have to defend her 2 daughters. It will be a very arduous journey. Thank you so much Lady Tsunade, once again you helped me, I owe you a debt, and I swear I will pay it, Kushina said. Well you can bring the brat so I can spoil them hahaha, Tsunade said as she laughed. That's fine with me, but can I ask you a favor? Asks Kushina. Depends on what it is, answers Tsunade. Well, I don't know, but I feel like I'm going to be traveling for a long time, and since I can't go back to Konoha, I'd like to ask you to take care of Naruto in secret. And yes I know you don't like to go back there, but I'm really worried about Naruto, and you're one of the only people I can trust right now, Kushina said. Tsunade starts scratching her head as she seems to be annoyed, but after some thought she sighs heavily. Okay Kushina, I take care of Naruto, at least I can test a jutsu I created, Tsunade said. What do you mean by that? Kushina asks. This is a jutsu that I created thinking about the orphan babies in the hospital. It is a jutsu in which you mold chakra in the region of your breasts, and with that you stimulate them to produce breast milk. Explains Tsunade. Wait, really? Did you really create something like this? Kushina asks. Yes, but unfortunately the project was cancelled because it is very difficult to learn the jutsu, and it is also necessary to have perfect chakra control. But anyway, while you can't come back I can breastfeed Naruto, said Tsunade. Thank you so much, now I need to go, I plan to get to the next stop before sundown, see you later Lady Tsunade, and I promise to keep in touch, Kushina said, and then uses the summoning jutsu to get back to the hotel she was staying in. After she gets all her belongings, she makes her way to the planned place. Along the way she encounters a few thugs but nothing she can't handle. Days later, in Konoha, in a secret meeting room of Anbu-Root, we can see some members of the Civil Council and Danzo Shimura, leader of Root. Danzo-sama, everything is going according to plan, we just need to wait a few years until the boy grows up enough to be trained by Root. With him and Orochimaru by our side, Hiruzen Sarutobi will surely fall, and finally you can take over the position of Hokage, says a random civilian. Good, very good, Hiruzen has always been a fool, trying to seek peace and make alliance between the 5 nations is absurd, we can't trust them, but with me in charge and with Kyuubi on our side, Konoha will surely prosper, said Danzo. Obviously, Danzo took advantage of the situation with the Kyuubi and manipulated the Civil Council, who were keen to increase their power and influence over the General Council, and managed to increase their influence in the time of the Hokage's absence before Hiruzen reassumed his post. Not only that, but also Danzo managed to leak information to the village that Naruto would be the Jinchuriki of the 9 Tails, creating a small rumor among the villagers who were still in panic due to the attack. On the village wall, we can see Tsunade sneaking in to enter silently and find Naruto, and surprisingly, it's not a difficult task. It even impresses Tsunade seeing that the security level of the village is terrible, as it hasn't received any surprise attack yet. It is beyond the understanding of the Senjueris. It doesn't take long to find the baby. Tsunade sees him being carried by a civilian, who surprisingly had no ill intentions against Naruto. Tsunade uses the Shunshin and appears in the room the two were in, scaring the woman who was carrying the baby. Hoo-ha, Tsunade-sama? What are you doing here? Asks the woman. Hi, sorry if I scared you, I was just planning to keep an eye on the baby, he's the son of a friend of mine who died in the attack, Tsunade replied. Oh I see, I'm sorry, if you want I can give you custody of the baby, said the woman. As much as I want to, I can't have custody of him, and the council people don't like me very much, so they wouldn't approve, Tsunade said. So you're just making sure he's safe, right? Asks the woman. Not only that, but I plan to breastfeed him, Tsunade replies. Tsunade-sama, do you have breast milk? If you have then it will be a great help, because until today Naruto has not received any breast milk, and no mother wants to breastfeed him, he had only normal milk, and that is certainly not healthy for him, said the woman. Well give me the baby here, I'll breastfeed him, Tsunade said. The woman complied with what Tsunade asks, and now Naruto is in her arms, and Naruto, seeing his godmother's face, starts to giggle and caresses her face. Oh my you are so cute, said Tsunade while caressing Naruto too. Seeing the scene, the woman can't help but have a warm smile on her face. After a few moments of affection between the two, Naruto was getting hungry, so he started to grab Tsunade's breasts. It was early in the morning, so it was time for breakfast. Knowing this, Tsunade makes some hand seals and calls her jutsu ninja art, maternal blessing jutsu. With that Tsunade already feels the milk being produced in her breasts. She takes off the clothes that covered her right breast and starts to breastfeed the baby. The woman could only watch amazed at what had just happened. She had just witnessed a jutsu capable of creating breast milk. Tsunade really is the best medical ninja for a reason. Even so, the woman thought it would be best to leave the two of them alone, to have their moment in peace. While Tsunade was breastfeeding Naruto, soon she begins to feel a strong connection with the baby. In all these years, after Nawaki and Dan's death, Tsunade never felt as peaceful as she does now. It was as if in that moment, there was only her and Naruto. And after many years, for the first time, Tsunade showed a warm smile. She starts singing a song to the baby as he feeds himself. Even after a few minutes, Naruto was still feeding himself, which surprised Tsunade with the amount of milk he was consuming. "Hey little boy, you're really quite hungry huh? But that's not surprising, after all for all this time you haven't had a proper diet. Looks like I'm going to have to stop drinking sake, if I want you to be on a diet healthy, right Naru-chan?" I like that nickname, I'll call you that from now on," Tsunade said. That day a strong bond was established between the two, without even Tsunade realizing it. Little by little Naruto was becoming the light she needed. Months passed. Throughout that time, Tsunade continued to secretly take care for Naruto, while Kushina maintained communication with her. As there were many places where Kushina would be recognized, her pace has slowed down a lot, and the pregnancy is not helping either. Time passed quickly, and Kushina was already in her 9th month of pregnancy. She called Tsunade and Shizune to help with childbirth, and luckily, this time there was no masked man. The two girls were born healthy and strong. The first was named Kazu Uzumaki, and the second born was named Naomi Uzumaki. Now with the two babies almost always on her lap, Kushina's mission started to get more and more arduous, and as if that wasn't enough, Tsunade sent weekly reports about Naruto's life and what happens in the village, and what Kushina read makes your blood boil with hate. From what Kushina can read, Tsunade listed several attempts by the villagers trying to beat Naruto or mistreat him. If it wasn't for Tsunade and Kakashi, who watched him whenever he could, Naruto could be in the hospital with serious injury. "Lady Tsunade, Kakashi, you two have my eternal gratitude," Kushina said as she ground her teeth. As the days passed, the more Kushina changed. While she remained friendly with those she knew or respected, with anyone else she treated in a cold way. Whoever knew Kushina before would say that she would be unrecognizable. What before was always cheerful and full of energy, now has cold eyes. Not only that, but Kushina also seems to have gained a reputation among the missing ninja. They are calling her the Red Death, because in the time when Kushina was traveling, she faced many ninjas and bandits, including even some rank A shinobi. They describe her as having long red hair, an Anbu mask and uniform, although it is not possible to say which village she came from. Another thing that Kushina didn't notice is that her strength increased a lot for being in constant fights and always protecting her two daughters. Such effort made Kushina always exceed her limit. A little more time passed, and finally Kushina arrived in the land of whirlpools. Seeing all that landscape brings a feeling of nostalgia. After all, before going to Konoha, Kushina already lived there. Now going according to plan, Kushina makes two clones to hold the babies, while Kushina follows and starts activating the protective seals. The seals, recognizing the Uzumaki blood in Kushina, released the passage for her to follow to the vault where the Uzumakis kept everything they had. It took a few hours, but Kushina finally managed to put it all on a special scroll she made herself. Now with the necessary documents, Kushina will be able to go to the Daimyo of the Country of Fire to get his approval, and with that, no one in Konoha will be able to contradict him. So immediately she starts heading to the capital of the Country of Fire to get an audience with the Daimyo. Kushina managed to get to the capital relatively fast, and then she schedules an audience with the Daimyo as soon as possible. Luckily for Kushina, today was free, so the Daimyo didn't have anything scheduled. Now in the audience. "Well, so you're the one who asked for an audience with me, but I'm curious that you didn't mention your name, so before we start, I'd like you to remove the mask and say your name," said Daimyo. Kushina sighs heavily, but she complies with what she was told. When she removes the mask, soon an expression of recognition appears on Daimyo's face. "Oh my god, Kushina, you're alive. Come my friend, and give this old man a hug," said Daimyo with a fatherly aura. Kushina makes a small smile and hugs the Daimyo. After a few moments they separate from the hug. "Kushina, I'm sorry for Minato, he will always have a special place in my heart," said Daimyo. Kushina nods her head with a sad expression. "Now, I must assume that you must have a good reason for hiding like this, right?" questioned Daimyo. Yes, Daimyo-sama, I will tell you everything," said Kushina. After a few hours of telling the daimyo everything about what had happened, he was visibly furious. "These counselors need to recognize their place, how dare they do something like that?" said daimyo furiously. "That's why I'm here, Daimyo-sama, I need your help to get my baby back. I even brought the necessary documents that can prove and protect Naruto through the Uzumaki clan policies," Kushina said as she handed over the documents. After reviewing the documents with his assistant and discussing some matters, Daimyo finally comes to a decision. "Kushina, with these documents you can really take Naruto out of the hands of the council, but with so many politics involved, I'm going to need at least 5 years to make these terms concrete," said Daimyo. "5 years, but..." "Daimyo-sama, my baby," said Kushina, almost losing hope again. "I know, Kushina, I know, but this is the shortest time I can get to these terms, otherwise the changes won't be authentic, and everything you've done would be in vain. Look, Kushina, have faith in your son, that he will be strong until you can reach him again," said Daimyo as he put a hand on her shoulders. Kushina, seeing that this was really the only solution, accepts the conditions. After leaving the capital, Kushina was determined to become even more powerful to protect her children. "Please, Naruto, hold on just a little longer, and mommy will get you from this cursed village. Now we're going to do a 5-year time skip, and in those 5 years, a lot of things happened." At that time, Kushina remembered the advice Tsunade had given earlier about raising her children in a special place. When Kushina asked Tsunade about it, she reveals that Hashirama and Tobirama together built a secret Senju compound. This place was made for rest and relaxation. It's a very beautiful place, and even has its own abundant water source, courtesy of the second Hokage. So during that time, Tsunade, when she wasn't taking care of Naruto, she would always visit Kushina at the compound to see how the two girls were doing. During that time Tsunade also changed, in fact her change was from water to wine. She was much happier. Not only that, but she legitimately stopped drinking and gambling, all this because of a blonde baby with blue eyes who had stolen her heart. Tsunade even went back to training regularly in order to sharpen her skills again. As much as she hates to admit it, it was a fact that Tsunade had gone rusty. So in order to return to the peak of her strength again, she went back to training. Unfortunately, Kushina didn't have the same change as Tsunade. Kushina has changed, but we can't say for the better. Kushina has become more closed off and quiet. She just smiles and becomes sweet again when she talks to her daughters and very close friends. But her power level has skyrocketed. Her physical strength surpasses Tsunade. She can control her adamantine chains at deadlier levels, and her speed will make even Minato and Raikage sweat. But among all her skills, none has increased as much as the art of swordsmanship. If you challenge her to a sword duel, you are practically begging to die. Kushina is certainly a force to be reckoned with. Even in the meantime, Kushina, when traveling towards the Senju compound that Tsunade pointed out, in the middle of the trip, Kushina, to her great surprise and relief, had found surviving Uzumakas. Almost at the edge of Grass Country, Kushina encountered 2 Uzumakas who were trying to take refuge in Grass Village. Kushina, after meeting them, convinced them that this country was unreliable and that they would just use the 2 of them. The oldest Uzumaki appeared to be around 28 years old. Her name is Kayama Uzumaki. The youngest was around 4 years old, had red eyes and wore glasses. Her name is Karen Uzumaki. She is Kayam's daughter, and the 2 were already traveling for weeks aimlessly. So Kushina invited the 2 Uzumakas to live together with Kushina and her daughters. After all, they are from the same clan, so they are family. A few weeks later, Kushina takes on a mission to hunt down some missing ninja to get money and support her family. You might even ask, but where is Naruto's inheritance? They shouldn't have a problem with money. Unfortunately, all the inheritance and money left by Minato ended up being destroyed in the Fox attack. All that was left were just the scrolls about his techniques and history. The same goes for the Uzumaki clan, so Kushina's situation is not the best. Near the village of Sound, Kushina meets another Uzumaki girl. She appeared to be the same age as her daughters, around 4 years old, and her name was Taiya Uzumaki. Let's just say her situation wasn't pleasant at all, so Kushina rescued her. When she was returning to Senju compound, she bumps into a very poor woman, and it didn't look like she was going to live long, not in that state. In the years that have passed, Kushina has learned a bit of medical ninjutsu from Tsunade, so she has a good understanding of the subject. Kushina manages to recover much of the woman's health, but in the middle of the treatment, Kushina discovers that she is in Uzumaki too, and that she is not dead, yet because of the great vitality that the Uzumaki clan has. The woman, after recovering, introduces herself as Fuzo Uzumaki, was around 32 years old, and had long red hair, like Kushina. With Fuzo ready to go, Kushina takes Fuzo and Taiya to the Senju compound. When everyone gathered, all the Uzumaki were glad to see that their clan was still alive. The meeting was soon followed by a party to celebrate. "I'm so happy to see you guys are okay. For all these years I thought I was the only survivor of the clan," said Fuzo. "I'm also glad to see you all well. If it weren't for Kushina-sama, my daughter and I would be in Kusagakure, and who knows what they would have done to us," Kayam said. "You guys don't need to call me Kushina-sama, just Kushina is fine, you're all part of my family," Kushina said. "Now that I've met all of you, maybe there's still a chance that my son Nagato is still alive," said Fuzo with hope in his eyes. "What happened to your son Fuzo-ni?" asks Karen. "I'm also curious, Fuzo, maybe if you give us some information, we might have a clue where to find him," said Kayam. "Well, for all these years I have been living in a megacure with my husband and son. Our conditions were not the best, but we were happy. Until one day the war had arrived in the territory of a megacure. It was real chaos, so my husband and I tried to hide, but to no avail. We were found by Konoha ninjas. My husband tried to talk to them, but they ended up killing him. Seeing this, I quickly grabbed Nagato and ran with him, but the ninjas were catching up to us. So I ordered Nagato to run as fast as him could, while I delayed the ninjas. I managed to defeat a few, but in the end I received a near-fatal cut on my chest, and I fell unconscious. When I woke up, my wound had healed a little, so I could move. I started trying to look for my son everywhere, but I couldn't find him, and as I didn't have food for days my health was very poor, and I couldn't keep looking," explains Fuzo with tears in her eyes. Seeing this, Kushina puts her hand on Fuzo's shoulder. "I promise you, Fuzo, we'll find your son," Kushina said with determination. "Thank you very much," said Fuzo. "We're all going to help you too, right Mom?" asks Karen. "That's right daughter, no Uzumaki is left behind," Kayam said with determination too. Suddenly the Senju compound's doorbell rings. "Oh, my friends are here," said Kushina, going to answer the gate. Outside was Tsunade, who had just returned with Kushina's daughters, and Shizune, who was accompanying her master. "Hey Tsunade, Shizune, girls, there are people here that I want to introduce to you," Kushina said, visibly more cheerful than usual. Seeing this, Tsunade and Shizune look at each other with a raised eyebrow, while Kazu and Naomi are excited to meet new people. Kushina takes Tsunade and the others to the Uzumaki's present there. "Guys, I would like to introduce you to the other survivors of the Uzumaki clan." Tsunade and Shizune introduce themselves and the Uzumakis do the same, until they get to Kazu and Naomi. "My people, I would like to introduce you to my two daughters," Kushina said as she motioned for her daughters to introduce themselves. Kazu is a girl with short red hair, has blue eyes, you can tell she is the energetic and hyperactive sister. Hello everyone, my name is Kazu Uzumaki, I'm 4 years old. I like ramen and adventures. My dream is to be able to meet Naruto Nai-chan. When I meet him I will give him lots of hugs and kisses. I don't like perverts and I hate people who tried to hurt Naruto Nai-chan," Kazu said. "You're fucking right Redeed, count on me to beat these shits," Taiya said. "Stop swearing like that Taiya, you're not even 5 years old," Kushina said in a reproachful tone, as Taiya starts pouting. Naomi is a girl with long red hair down to her waist, she has dark blue eyes like Kushina's, you can tell she is the calm and quiet sister, and very polite too. "Greetings to all, my name is Naomi Uzumaki, I am 4 years old, I like ramen, reading and studying about Fuinjutsu. My dream is also to be able to meet Naruto Oni-sama, when I finally meet him I will never leave his side. And I would like to have a little chat with everyone who tried to hurt my Naruto Oni-sama, Naomi said with a sadistic face and releasing a Yandi Rora. Karen, who was next to Naomi, immediately takes a step back. Geez, this girl is psychotic, said Karen, while the others look at the situation in amusement. Seriously guys, today was one of the best days of my life. I'm really glad I found you all, Kushina said with a warm smile. Well, it's time for bed, Kazu. Naomi, go take a shower and then go to sleep. Early in the morning we'll train again, Kushina said. Yes, Aka-san, Aka-sama, said Kazu and Naomi at the same time. Taiya, go with them too, and then go to sleep, as I'd like you to be part of the training too, Kushina said. Hell yeah, this training is going to be awesome. Good night, said Taiya. Karen, I would like you to follow the example of these children and also go to sleep, okay? Kayam said. Okay, Karen said while yawning. A few hours later, we can see Kushina in her mindscape. Kushina, seeing where she was, sighs heavily. What do you want, Kyuubi? You don't bring me here for nothing, asks Kushina. And you're right, it's about that Gaki of yours, Kyuubi said. Naruto, did something happen to him? Kushina said with concern. Surprisingly no, this Zenju and Haddock are doing a good job protecting the Gaki. I mean the fact that I felt him contacting my other part today, said Kyuubi. But already, it's too early for him. I just hope that Daimyo-sama sends me the signed document soon, so I can help my son. Kushina said with another sigh. Whatever, Kyuubi said as he went back to sleep. The next day, Kushina has just finished training the kids when suddenly she receives a package. These guys are Daimyo-sama's personal samurai, so that means that the documents are in this package and I will finally be able to have custody of my son, Kushina said, jumping for joy. Shizune arrives at the training ground and seeing this scene she approaches Kushina. Kushina, what happened to make you so happy? Asks Shizune. Oh Shizune, this is great news, but first please let everyone know to go to the living room, and there I will explain everything. Kazu, Naomi and Taiya, you three go to the living room too, Kushina said. After a few minutes everyone was already waiting in the room, and some were very curious about it. Guys, I have great news to share. Today, a few minutes ago, I received a package from Daimyo-sama, and inside it contains all the necessary documents signed and approved by him. It means that I'll finally be able to rescue Naruto, said Kushina, again jumping for joy. Oh my god, this is wonderful, finally Naru-chan will be able to leave Konoha. I can't wait to see the counselor's expressions, Tsunade said. So that means I'll finally be able to meet my Ani-chan, said Kazu with stars in her eyes. Wait for me, Ani-sama, soon I can be by your side, never to leave again, Naomi said with a big smile. Hey, we can go with you guys to get him, me and Glasses over there are curious to meet him, Taiya said while pointing to Karen, who rolls her eyes in annoyance. Hey, I got a name, damn it. But yes, I also want to meet him, you guys talk about him so much that I was curious about him, said Karen as she adjusted her glasses. Why don't we all go get Naruto together? That way, we'll not only make a strong impression on the people there, but we'll also show the boy that he still has a clan, suggests Fuzzo. Everyone there agrees with the suggestion, so they start preparing things to make the trip, because from the compound where they were to Konoha, it's a few days of walking. After a few more minutes, everyone was ready to make the trip. But this time, Kushina gave an Anbu uniform, a mask and a black cloak to Fuzzo and Kayam, because the three could be recognized without it. And Kushina only intends to make her presence known after having Naruto's custody. After a few days of walking, the group takes a break in the middle of a clearing. While everyone was resting to continue their journey, suddenly everyone hears the noise of branches breaking and leaves moving. All adults jump into battle stance. Who are you? Reveal yourself, Tsunade said as she cracked her knuckles. A black-robed figure stands out from the bushes. Look, I don't want to hurt anyone, I just saw your group relaxing, and I was curious, that's all, said the hooded figure. Kushina tries to feel this person's chakra to see if they were getting ready to attack, but what she finds leaves her extremely shocked. This chakra, I can't believe it, it's impossible, said Kushina, still in shock. What happened? Is there something wrong? Shizune asks worriedly. And no, but that chakra signature. There is no mistake. Rin, is that you? Are you alive? Kushina asks. What? How do you know me? Rin asks as she takes off her mask and the hood covering her face. When everyone who knows her sees her face, everyone is in shock. This really was Rin Nahara. The same chakra, the same face paint and voice. Well, now you all know who I am, although I still didn't want my identity revealed. But who are you? How did you recognize me? Rin asks Kushina. Seeing this, Kushina also takes off the hood and mask she was wearing, revealing her face to Rin. And no way. Kushina-san, you're alive, said Rin as she ran towards Kushina. Kushina also runs towards Rin, and when the two meet, they give each other a big hug with both of them tearing up. Oh my god, Rin-chan, I missed you so much. When I heard that you died on that mission, I was so heartbroken. You have no idea how happy I am now, Kushina said. Me too, Kushina-san, me too, said Rin. After a few minutes of the two hugging and exchanging a few words of affection, they separate. But how did you survive, my dear? It was said that you had your heart pierced, asks Kushina, very intrigued. Well, I can ask you the same question, Kushina-san, said Rin, laughing a little. Fair, well, let's hear your story first, and then I'll tell you mine, Kushina said as she led Rin to the others for them to hear too. Flashback. On a bloody and sad night, we can hear the rain falling, washing away the blood present in the fallen bodies on that battlefield. Kunes, shurikens, destruction. Everything in that landscape indicated that a few hours ago there was a great battle. This same landscape caught the attention of a middle-aged man who walked among the bodies lying there while praying for their souls. Until he sees a particular body, which has caught his attention, and as he approaches the body, the man is shocked by what he sees. Oh no, poor soul, it's just a girl. She can't be more than 13 years old. Seeing the body of that dead girl, she fills the man's heart with sadness. Wars, always causing destruction and death, no matter which side you are on. I've already committed many sins, maybe I don't have a chance to redeem myself anymore. But this girl, still so young, has so much to live for, she sure deserves a second chance. Chiyo-sensei taught me this kenjutsu, but I never thought I would use it someday, but at least it will be worth it. When saying that, the man puts his hands on the girl's abdomen and begins to channel all his chakra into her. Well, at least I'll finally be able to meet my kids and wife in the afterlife. It's done. Kisho Tensei no Jutsu. With that, the man smiles peacefully. Girl, live your life the best you can, and I hope you always follow your heart. With that, the man falls to the ground, already lifeless. After a few minutes, the girl starts to wake up. What happened, and how am I alive? I'm sure I threw myself in front of Kakashi's Chidori, and I couldn't feel the Biju's chakra on me anymore, it was gone. The girl, now identified as Rin Nahara, starts to get up and finally notices the landscape around her. My god, what happened here? There are so many bodies. I want to go back to Konoha, but there's just no way I can go back now. I'll be easily killed by the shinobi who are still fighting around. I'll have to settle somewhere. End of flashback. And that was basically it. For years I was wandering around, Rin said. Wait, why didn't you go back to Konoha after the war was over? Kushina asks. Well, I tried at first, but then I discovered a secret that made me very worried, said Rin. And what did you find out? Tsunade asks. That there are traitors and spies on the council, and they're the ones who basically left Konoha the way it is today, Rin said. Kushina, after hearing this, was filled with hatred again, and thinking that her son was trapped in a place like that. Now Kushina more than ever wants to get her son back from there. After calming down, everyone prepares to continue their journey to Konoha. So Rin, what do you plan to do? Since you don't want to go to Konoha, so I doubt you want to go with us right now, asks Kushina. Well, I would keep wandering around, training and getting stronger, and also looking for information about what's going on around the 5 great nations. But now I would like to stay with you guys, but I don't really go back to Konoha. I don't trust that place anymore, Rin said. I think you can live in the same place we are now. What do you think of you waiting for us there? Tsunade asks. Of course I would love to, show me the address, and I'll be there waiting for your return. Oh, and Kushina-san, please don't say anything to Kakashi yet. I'm still not ready to see him again, said Rin. I understand, no need to worry. Now we need to go on our way, see you later Rin-chan, Kushina said. After a few more days of traveling, the group finally finds themselves approaching the Konoha gate. It's been so many years. Minato, what would you say if you saw what Konoha has become today? Said Kushina. She sighs heavily but calms down. Son, Mom is here, just wait a little longer, and soon we can be a happy and united family again. And with that we close chapter 2 of our original fanfic. Before finishing the video, I have some very important warnings. First, as in this channel I will create my own fanfics, the videos will take a little longer to come out, because different from the channels that bring fanfics already made by other users. I have to do the story myself, and plan the whole script myself, after all I am the creator of the story. Now that I'm back with the channel, the ones will be released with a frequency of 3 to 6 days. That way I'll have time to make a good sized chapter and a good story, without being rushed. Another doubt you may have is, what will be the size of the videos? Well, I don't have time to do a 2-hour chapter for example, and I honestly think it's unnecessarily long, so my chapters will always be around 30 to 45 minutes long. It's not too long, but it's not too little either. Now with these doubts clarified, we can finish the video. Don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. You can only get these unique fanfics here. Stay well my soldiers, and until the next chapter.